unknown country. A fire parade of ponies and a leaping cow, like the cow jumping on the moon. A grid-like sun, perhaps a trap, perhaps a tribal sun.
That looks like the Canada-US border force. They got dogs now. Shit. Here, boy. Fuck off. Yeah, good boy. Looks like they drew a blank. That's you. What are you seeing? La reality. you down there, the Korean, the one you sang that?
Of course.
When?
Yeah, it is.
What, the 1880s? You look young.
But all there.
True. Why did you stop making music? You could sing, you could dance, you were good.
I stopped making art, so I stopped making music too, of course.
You never fail to amaze me.
I hope I never do.
Do you want to show me what you've got?
Not really.
Again.
Again. I thought I was painting you. I thought I had practice.
What's happened to those beautiful images you used to make?
I wish I knew. It feels like I've got a brain injury. Though what a brain injury would feel like, I don't think I know.
Empty, I guess.
Empty.
Empty in the brain. Still, at least you're safe.
Safe.
Not like this motherfucker.
What have you got?
Ta-da!
That's me.
Well, it's you from a certain angle.
Mine was YouTube right up to the end.
This is crazy, man. We used to be able to make images like kids just scribbling with crayons on cardboard. What happened?
I don't have any images in my head anymore, you know. I don't have. And when I look at something and I try to draw it, I always end up with this mess. I know someone is messing with my head. Is that paranoid?
Yes. But you're not necessarily wrong. I was reading last night about something called aphantasia. You ever heard of it?
No.
No, nor have I. Apparently it's a psychological condition in which the sufferer is unable to form pictures in the mind. It's like the imagination is blind.
Richard, it's coming back.
What are you singing now? Look at him.
We're often but happy with our memories. All colored pictures, all colored reveals. We're often but happy with our memories. All colored pictures. We're sitting up here. It feels like forever. This is my mind is as far as I can see you. If someone is there, show yourself to me, show yourself to me.
What can I say? Bravo! I love the thing you do with your tie there, and that could make a comeback, you know. Did you know you were a prophet?
I always have been.
You know what Leonard Cohen said? I've seen the future brother in his murder. Your band here, it's like what today they'd call an art rock band, an art school band, like Roxy Music or something. But tell me, honestly, did you ever want to be a pop star?
Never. Well, actually, we pretended we didn't care about those things those days. I'm feeling quite nostalgic with these videos. And I've been going through some old tapes.
Uh-oh. This could be embarrassing. What do you got?
Remember this? What did you do?
Bonsoir. We're back at the sea training debate with Richard and Antonio. We started to discuss the crisis of the image in pop culture, and we ended up with
I wish I could share your enthusiasm for my image. You do know that you failed the entrance exam for the Moscow Academy of Fine Art on several occasions, don't you?
Good for you. We both failed our entrance exam.
That's true. But that's beside the point. And please stop interrupting. As I was saying, when he painted the black square, he wasn't really meaning that all images should end.
He placed it with an icon square. Metaphorically, he was destroying all icons.
But now we live in a secular world. What are the icons? David Bowie's zigzag? Bianca Jagger? Andy Warhol's Chairman Mao? Hiroshima? Kim Kardashian's ass? Should ever work out for manifesto?
Maybe.
But those first images, the cave paintings in Lascaux, they were about memory. Humans leaving a trace, passing on knowledge, asserting their existence. To exist is to leave traces or to measure, remember?
But perhaps now we've got beyond the limit for images. Perhaps in this world, in the now, images are just a facade, an infantile way of supporting our declining intellectual powers, eliminating our essential power of memory, preventing us from amplifying the cultural self in the relation to the infinite. The black square could be read by anyone. It knew no linguistic, national, cultural, racial, or religious boundaries. It absolved art from the need to be a mirror, a representation, and it allowed it to glory in the purity of color, line, shape, and form. It freed us from time, and in so doing, it freed us from memory and history. And may I say, you're being very selective about your images from Glasgow. While the most famous ones are the antelopes, the bison, the horses, the cattle, by far, the majority of marks made on those walls are abstract, squares, oblongs, dots, arrows, and grid symbols. We can only guess what their meaning. But the fact remains that even 35,000 years ago, abstract and figurative art could exist side by side on the same cave wall.
But memory is not merely that of the experiencing subject. Let me put this another way. It's not merely human, psychological, or personal. It's also ontological. Memory acts to hold events together by separating them into manageable pieces. The weight of the past is inherent in the experience of the now, and it is institution that offers weight to experience and that holds the potential for a sequel. The past bears weight, images hold weight, the image carries the entire weight of history. Memories hold weight, the past is absorbed and inscribed in the present through images. But we also steer the future through memory. The self, like institution, is therefore not fixed, but rather occurs as a phase of a continuous continuous process of becoming. And finally, let us not forget, modern technology has shown that beneath the final, iconic, I grant you, image of Malevich's black square, we see that the first iteration was in fact an identifiable image of a horse. Albeit rather crudely executed. I rest my case. Oh, thank God for that. Blah, 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 blah. What the fuck was I trying to say with that word salad?
I have no idea, but it sounds impressive.
Well, I'm glad you thought so. I didn't know any of these tapes had survived.
They haven't, except my own.
Thank God for that, and you keep that one under wraps. You know, that was just so pretentious. Antonio, you're supposed to be my best friend, yeah? Yet you let me go on national television, and make a pompous ass of myself. Thanks a lot. You know, I sometimes think I was never happier than when you and I went on that school trip to Lascaux to see the prehistoric paintings in the caves. Two young kids, our entire lives ahead of us. And a school teacher, a great school teacher, who lit a fire under our young imaginations. Do you remember?
I haven't forgotten those days either. Well, the images I forgot them all, of course, you know. But I still remember how it felt.
Antonia, I need to tell you something. I need to unload. I got into one of the drop zones and took some photos, took some films. Don't say anything. You've no idea, these places are so weird. It's like Alphaville in there.
Are you crazy? You went inside? What do you think you are, any caution? They could have shot you on sight.
That's why I made sure I didn't get seen.
Sure they have CCTV cameras, dogs.
All of that, but they're not very good. I used to drive past these places on the motorway, big anonymous silos the size of a small village. 600 parking bays outside, painted blue and white to blend in with the sky, and sometimes a lovely logo on the side, John Lewis, Amazon, IKEA. They duped us into thinking that they were national distribution centres. We were so naive then. These are factories of forgetting. They are cremating our memories in the drop zones. And this is happening all over the world.
I've heard that in China, the drop zones are manned and operated by prison labor.
I wouldn't be surprised. Where'd you hear that?
Somewhere. I don't know.
Look here. Brigitte Bardot, Serge Gainsbourg, propagande, coiffeurs. I used to work in a bread factory. Every morning I would check in and they would say, you're on hamburger rolls, you're on cakes, you're on jam tarts, you're on sliced bread. Here, these guys come in and they're told, you're on babies, you're on wedding dresses, you're on deep sea fish, you are on album covers, you are on fine art. And all day long, the images are deleted. Baby, delete, baby, delete, baby, delete, baby, delete, baby, delete. Even indoctrinating school kids. If your mummy or daddy has a photograph of you or a holiday film, tell your teacher. It's disgusting. This is a war crime. This is a crime against humanity. These images are irreversible. They are be destroyed like the library in Alexandria being burned down every single day.
And Do you think this is related to my fantasia, to my dreams?
I don't know, maybe.
Someone is messing with me.
Are you hungry?
Always.
Let's eat something. Delete, album cover, delete, album cover, delete, album cover, delete, album cover, delete, delete, delete.
I had this dream. I had this dream. I had this dream where I was sitting on a chair, looking at a closed window and enjoying the view. The room walls were lined with shelves full of photo albums from floor to the ceiling. The albums were catalogued in different categories: sex, countries, people, sorrow, happiness, etc. Then the albums started to fall from their shelves and the photos flew from their pages and were sucked into the black window panes. Me too, I was sucked into them. Well, not me, because I was still sitting on my chair. It was my image that was sucked into the window. And then it felt like everything had turned into nothing. And it felt so peaceful, so beautiful. Nothing at all.
Aren't you scared? Like a dog.
You do what you have to do, don't you?
Tell me more about the job site.
I was only there that once, and that was by accident. I saw the trucks coming in, the crates, the boxes, the cartons being unloaded. I started to walk around a little bit to see what was happening inside, and these security guys, police came up. They weren't cops, they were security thugs employed by the drop zone. And they're like, "What are you doing here, sir?" And I'm just a member of the public. I just having a look around. He said, "This isn't public land, this is private land." I said, "No, this is public." He said, "No, the company has bought this land." He said, "What do you do anyway?" I said, "Well, gig economy, a bit of driving, a bit of cleaning, a bit of cooking, you know." He said, "Have you got any ID on you?" I said, "Well, I've got my phone." He said, "Have you got any photos on you?" I said, "You're not allowed to have photos, are you?" And they said, "We're going to have to arrest you." They put me in handcuffs. They said, "We're going to have to do some background checks on you." And they put me in the cop's car. They were quite scary. They had body armour and face masks, and they were really paranoid about me seeing their faces. Anyway, a couple of minutes later, this old lady comes. She's walking the dog, and she says, "What are you doing with that man in that car?" And they said, "Don't you worry about that. They're really patronising. You go and walk your dog." But she's one of these feisty elderly ladies. She's like standing her ground. She's trying to tell me something. I can't hear what she's saying because I'm in the back of the car. But I can hear her say Facebook. I can hear her say trucks with foreign number plates coming in. Then a guy in a bicycle comes down, and he's wearing some sort of uniform, and he seems to freak her out a little bit, and she wanders off. She doesn't like this guy. So then the cops come to the car and they say, "All right, you're de-arrested." I'm like, "De-arrested? What's that mean? You're not under arrest anymore. But we don't advise you to come back here. You could be in a lot of trouble." I'm saying lots of trouble. You know, by now they're sort of bored with me. They want to get on with whatever. But I decide I'm going to have a bit of fun. So when they take the handcuffs off me, I say to them, "Do you mind if I record this conversation?" They're like, "Photos?" I said, "No photos. These cameras have been disabled now. Just audio." They don't like it. They think I'm taking the piss out of them, basically. They get back in their car and I'm like holding that out. Anything else to say? I don't know anything else to say. You remember when they pursued Natasha? She thought she'd got away. They sent agents to Mexico to follow her. They thought that she would tell them about us where we were hiding. She was in a safe house in Tijuana. It was the middle of winter, I remember. It was bitterly cold. I was in Chicago. Somebody betrayed Natasha. They raided the safe house in the middle of the night and took her away. They tortured her. She was so brave, she wouldn't tell them anything. I heard this later, they gang raped her. She she started sending me emails about after image. After image. I'm thinking, after image? What's she talking about? You remember how she was always so much smarter than us? Then I realised she was onto something. After image is AI. And she was telling me through Malevich and the after image and the black square that AI was the method through which you could retrieve the images. They didn't know that she knew, but they killed her anyway. They sent me a film of her funeral. It wasn't her funeral. Can you imagine a funeral in Mexico in a church with no stained glass windows, no Madonna? No Madonnas on the wall. And the people there, they didn't look like our people. They looked like they'd been sent by central casting to a bad soap opera. Then it was the soundtrack really that got me. They sent me this English hymn, Abide With Me. It was like they were taunting me with that lyric, change and decay in all around I see. They sent me a death certificate. Cause of death, suicide. Jumping from a 5th floor window. Natasha would never jump from a 5th floor window. She hated heights. She wouldn't even go to the 2nd floor of a department store. I never saw a photo of the body. So I made an image for myself of her that they could never delete. Well, the last train is gone. The snow has covered everything. The barman pours a drink, so I guess we're staying home. I just got the news. So anyway, I couldn't go, 'cause you lost that final showdown in Tijuana, Mexico. This year, I swear, the winter will be colder and the air will freeze my tears, 'cause you're not here. Hey now, hey now, hey now, sleep the gentle sleep. Well, wind is whipping through the trees, the icy sky so clear. You can see that whole damn tattooed moon from here. But this pain in my heart tearing me apart. It's like a drunken voice that keeps worrying at you. But somewhere out there, I swear that there's a space for forever empty, forever blue, forever you. Hey now, now, hey now, now, hey now, now, sleep a gentle sleep. Hey now, now, hey now, now, hey now, now, sleep a gentle sleep. Hey now, now, hey now, 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 now. Hey now, now, will you sleep the gentle sleep? Oh shit, man. I'm sorry, I need to go and get some air, man. Do me a favour, will you drop out? I'll pick you up in the morning, man, I'm sorry. Did you notice the emptiness out there this morning? The darkness, it's like no advertising, no posters, no cartoons, no film clips. It's like the world has been hollowed out. It's like Terminator Future.
What happened?
I was thinking about what Natasha told me. She thinks that the world has been infected with a sort of commercially induced aphantasia, politically induced aphantasia. You remember that painting by Salvador Dali, The Persistence of Memory, with the soft clocks over branches, melting watches? Those soft clocks and melted watches were a subconscious symbol of the relationship between time and space, the collapse of the fixed cosmic order. Dali was channeling some half-baked understanding of Einstein's theory of relativity, but the old fraud was onto something. When we go onto those so-called free websites to put our photos up, our little film clips, our memories, if you like, we are signing away the copyright to our entire histories, our memories, to 4 companies for a few likes. And those images are what links our time and space to our memory, to our history. And we sold them all.
And now we can even access them.
We can rent them back, remember? What do you get, 5 minutes on your telephone for 50 euros or something? And if you try to save them, or share them, or copy them, and they catch you, what happened to me? Blinding. Of course, there's a few lucrative little black market scams that they've got going on. The gala auctions for the ultra wealthy, where the super rich can buy a really banal image. And you can imagine what they like. Pornography, sport, pets, food, holidays. I have all the time in the world. So disgusting. Look at the money. 59,000, 388,000, 7 million, 29 million. These images, they riot for these images, man. It's disgusting. Every image we have ever created, individually, jointly, communally, has been hijacked by the company. Even that beautiful set of paintings you did, what, maybe 10 years ago? Do you remember this?
No, I don't. Of course I don't. How could I? I have to.
Sorry. Wow. That was a mistake.
Hey. Yeah. Yeah, I'm alone. Antonio's gone out. Yeah. Yeah. Listen. I know what they're doing. They're not destroying the images, they're withdrawing them from circulation. They're not stupid, they know they've got value. They're creating a demand by manipulating supply. They're creating scarcity to increase the value. It's business. Listen. Shh. The images are destroyed in the drop zone, but not before cloned exact digital copies have been saved. This is what Natasha meant by after image. The black square represents the end of imagery, but also the accumulation of all imagery since the beginning of time. It's essentially every image ever produced. Listen to me. These images are piled on top of each other until all that remains is grey. But listen. But this meta-image, this end times image can be deconstructed, it can be stripped back to its component parts. Every single image has its own individual matrix number, like a barcode or QR code or whatever. Everyone thinks that all the images that ever existed have been destroyed, but that's what they want us to think. In reality, they're stored in the black square, which is held in the facility. The black square is a vault, not a void. Yeah? Do you get me? You keep this to yourself for now. Forget everything I've told you. Of course I don't know how. You daft. But I'll find someone who does. You and I need to meet soon. Maybe tomorrow. Yeah, speak in the morning. Okay. Bye.
You know why you're here, so let's not waste too much time.
You know those images you found were not mine. They were planted on my laptop. Probably by you, babe.
Let's be adults about this, Antonio. I'm sure we can do a separate deal on that later.
I am rather suspicious of your deals, as I'm sure you can imagine.
And why so?
Your promise to reverse my aphantasia hasn't come to much, has it? If anything, it's getting worse.
I'm truly sorry to hear that. So, you know about aphantasia, huh? Clever, isn't it? It must be terrible for an artist not to have an imagination. But it must be even worse for an artist to imagine that he has the power to stop the project. So, can we talk about your friend?
You promised me a reversal of your aphantasia when I gave you Natasha.
Natasha is just a small fish. We want the big shark. By the way, did you see the little party they arranged for Natasha and Tijuana? So thoughtful, eh? Oh, I forgot. You have the film on your laptop. Disgusting. Shame about the quality, but I'm sure you and your friend know how it is when you have to film using illegal equipment. Now, the big shark, please. How much does Richard know about the vault? What does he know about retrieving images from it?
I honestly don't know.
Oh, come now, you can do better than that.
He hasn't even told me what he knows. He's an artist, not a techie. He's never shown much understanding of the digital world, or much affection for it.
Such a shame about your aphantasia, and so easy to reverse it. Well, if you cannot help me, I cannot help you. Thank you, Antonio. You may go. Until our next little chat about the illegal images on your laptop.
Wait,
Yes?
he has been mentioned in Black Square 1 when talking about the drop cells.
Yes?
He was on the phone to someone. I don't know. Talking about AI retrieving images from the Black Square. He knows that AI is not tightly controlled by the power, but he said something about the homebrew system. Fantasy AI, which he said has been coupled together. The system can decompress Black Square and bring imagery back to the world. I didn't know what he was talking about, and I could hear the other half of the conversation. It sounded like he was asking someone for technical information or knowledge. It was grappling to understand it. That's all I know. How quickly can you reverse my aphantasia?
As quickly as I want.
I'll bend everything with the darkest shade of dark. Darkest than the night. Darkest than the darkest eyes. The darkest shade of dark. As dark as my heart. As dark as my soul. As dark
I got a summons from the facility. Have you seen the new stamps? Aren't they lovely? It seems that they want to interview me. They've got some new information. I must say I'm rather dreading it. Wish me luck. I'll see you later. I hope.
Recognize me on those cameras. Someone recognize me from the fucking drop zones. Can you believe they've got a fucking blinding machine? How fucked up is that?
to get used to this, old buddy. What does it say? Nothing. It's spam. Just spam. That's the other thing. Just spam. The images are coming back, and I can keep them in my head. I can keep them in my head.
Snow has covered everything. The barman paused to drink, so I guess we'll stay on. But I just got the news. So anyway, I couldn't go. But you lost that final showdown in Tijuana, Mexico. This year, I swear, the winter will be colder and the air will freeze my tears, 'cause you're not here. Hey now, hey now, hey now, sleep the gentle sleep. While the wind is winding through the trees, and the icy sky so clear that you can see the hotel tattoo from here. And this pain in my heart, tearing me apart. It's like a drunken voice that keeps